Hi, everyone. Great to see you again. Happy Thursday. So we're back again. This week, we're going to talk about systems and particularly CoachBox. So Rina and me have met Joel a while back, and we've heard a lot about the system that he's developed with his team, obviously. And we thought it would be really useful for you because we know some of you are already at the point when you're starting to think about how to systemize things, how to automate things, how to put your content in one place so it's easy to get to and all that sort of stuff. So we thought it would be really useful to invite Joel so you can tell us a little bit more about systems in general, what to consider when you are considering to invest in a system, and also how his system is different to others. Martha Mock, our other partner, she uses it and she speaks very highly of it. So we really look forward to learning more about it. So Joel, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you came to developing CoachBox?
Yeah, sure. So hi, everyone. Thank you for the brief introduction. Very brief background. I'm a coach, I'm a business coach, I'm a speaker and an author. And one of the biggest issues that I found when I was starting out was the tech overwhelm, the amount of overwhelm just generally when it came to being online. And almost every single one I talked to, of my clients, friends, and people that I was connected with, were struggling with tech. And since I work a lot with other coaches, we realized we need to do something about this. And I'm going to show you in a bit some more background about it. But that is the really brief version of why we started to do what we do, basically to get rid of the stress that people are experiencing.
Great. So yes, thanks a lot. So obviously there are other systems out there.
Yeah.
Why and how did you decide what you wanted in the system? And so tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I mean, there are basically, and if we look at this from the last maybe 2 to 3 years, the entire online space have kind of exploded with systems and really specified niche things that you can get this tiny piece that works with this specific thing. And to me, that leads to a big problem. And what happened in my life and what was the big real problem for me, I was working for almost a decade now when working as a coach. And one day my wife came in through the door and she said, well, we have a small issue now. We can't seem to pay the bills anymore. So what are we going to do about this? And that whole reason that we was in that situation came down to tech overwhelm. Tech overwhelm to me is one of the biggest enemies to every single one of us trying to run a business online, because there's so many things. What I was doing, I was caught up with all of these different tools, so many different tools. And every one of them was really great tools, but the problem was the amount of them and then trying to get them to work together. So to me, the big challenge is to go back to basics. Don't overthinking. Really focus on one core aspect of your business. And to me, that is helping people. That is helping and serving people. And we don't really have to worry about all the tools that are out there. We have to focus on what we need in our business. And when it comes to criteria about choosing what tools to find, one of the things I'm going to talk about today is what do you actually need? Because you could spend all your money and all your time just buying cool new fidgets and widgets and gadgets that you can use, but most of them are pointless for what we're really trying to do, which in my point is building our businesses.
So why don't you just go ahead and start showing us some of the things that you prepared for us, and let's have a look at what are all the tools that your CoachBox, this program encompasses, and what it all can do for coaches.
Definitely. I'll go ahead here and share my screen. And let me know if you can see it.
Yes.
Hopefully you can see a presentation right here with 3 easy steps to crush tech overwhelm. Hopefully that's on the screen at least. And that's what I'm going to talk about. And you already had a brief introduction, but I'm the father of 7 kids. I am I used to say this is my wife. She's not actually. We've been together for 12 years now, but I still haven't gotten around to actually getting married, and we need to sort that out. So that's a brief background. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started my first business when I was 16, and I've been running businesses my entire life almost. So that's coming up on 20 years. Can you believe that? As time flies. I think I'm still 22, turning 36 here in a couple of months. A fun fact is that I can actually drive almost any vehicle. I'm used to be the guy that people come to when they need to move heavy stuff, big stuff and heavy stuff. That's a fun fact about me. I'm an author, speaker, and a business builder. That's how I like to view myself. And what we're going to talk about today, guys, is some of the problems that I see our clients face and that we see. And just stop on that for a second. Clients in my world, we don't have customers. Most coaches have clients. I have coaching clients as well, but we don't have customers, because to me, there's a big difference between a customer and a client. A customer is someone who just purchases stuff from you. You go to the grocery store and you buy milk, you're a customer. A client to me, that is someone that you take care of. So that's a huge difference in just semantics, but I think that's an important part. And what we're going to talk about is, first off, the biggest enemy of actually getting stuff done. Perfection. We need to get rid of that. And we need to understand how to beat all of this tech stress, because right now, as I said, it's never been more crazy than it is right now. There's so many things out there. So we need to understand what we need and focus on the specifics. Then once we have that foundation, we're going to look at how to make your online business fun and easy to people. And finally, I'm going to answer every single question you have, guys. That's my goal of this presentation today. Ready to jump in and taking a look? Awesome. So this is the main reason. This, my friends, is the big thing. We need to look at this for a second, because let's see if I can get rid of this one. The reality is 83% of new coaches fail in their business and go bankrupt within 3 years. This is data from 2020, so there might be a difference. But just looking at this and thinking about different businesses, this is huge. And a majority of people here are struggling because they can't get in front of people. We have the entire world right now that we can talk to. We had lockdowns and we had all of these things, but we need to get in front of people. This was the propellant, what started my whole passion for this. How can we help people? How can we reduce this number drastically? That's the goal we're on. And our goal is to improve the life of 10 million people. So working with coaches, providing tools like this has a great fit for that. But looking at it from a different perspective, that is more fun. The coaching industry, as you might know, is growing with over 7% per year. More than $1 billion per year is the growth, according to PricewaterhouseCoopers, that did research on this. So it's a booming industry. So if you're new as a coach, you're coming in just at the right time, because this industry is growing super fast. And again, this is data from 2020, so before the pandemic hit. And we know that a lot of people started up because of different reasons during the pandemic as well. So it's growing super, super fast. So we need to get on this train and actually start working, because people need your help. More than ever, people need you specifically, not anyone else, but you specifically. So a few things we can do to get in front of people using the power of technology and using internet specifically, what we're going to look at. And by the end of this training, you're going to know how to actually maximize your business right now, because I'm going to show you a few easy steps and easy things you can do after our call today. You can sit down and do this, literally. I'm also going to show you how you can save hundreds of dollars. Our average client saves around $400 a month on softwares, literally, by working together with us. And as we talked about just a few seconds ago, the 3 easy steps to actually get rid of the tech overwhelm once and for all, and start working harder, smarter, not harder, right? So first things first. And this, I know we should talk about tech, and tech is ones and zeros flying over the internet somewhere, but this, my friends, is what it's all about. What is your big thing? What can you specifically help someone with? What is one big problem that you solve for someone, or that you could solve for someone? Think about that for a second. because no one has your experience. No one has your background. No one's been through what you've been through. So this is a huge thing. Think about this. What can you help someone deal with right now? And if we start in that end, the rest is going to be so much easier. What I'm going to talk about today is normally what we call a funnel, or how to get people into your world, but it's not just a funnel, because people use the term funnel super broad and super wide, and it can mean so many different things. I'm going to talk about one very specific type and one very specific way that we help people with this. So what's your problem? Keep that in mind as we go through the rest of this. How can you help someone? Once you figure out how you can help someone, I encourage you to start helping people. And one super, super easy way to do this is to create a gift that you can share with someone. We talk about lead magnets. If you heard that term before, that's what we're talking about. Opt-in gifts, something we can give to someone in exchange for their name, email address, or if we're on Facebook, to actually connect that way, some way we can connect with people, not to sell them stuff. If we're going about this with the idea of selling stuff, we're going about this the wrong way, I think. That's my perspective on it. We're going about this to try to help people. That's the goal. That's what we're doing. So what is the first step that you can help someone take on a journey? And I'm going to use our business as the examples here because it's easy. One of our steps is the 5-step guide to actually growing a coaching business. Those are 5 steps. That's an ebook, around 25 pages, how you can grow your business. Easy steps that you can implement right away. If you're a health coach, you can have specific things in regards to that. If you work with spiritual coaching, you know what topics you can help someone with. But it's not about creating the entire path. It is just about what is the next actionable step. Getting this in place that actually helps others is super important. Because if we have this, this could be an ebook. It doesn't have to be 84 pages. It could be 10 pages. It could be a cheat sheet. It could be a checklist. It could be a small guide, but something that you put together that has value to others. That's what I'm talking about. A gift for exchanging, giving to people in exchange for their email address and name, basically. You've seen this all over the place. We all know how this works, but the big thing here is adding value. I sign up for a lot of these, and sometimes it's just rubbish. Sorry to say, but sometimes it's just rubbish. And then someone starts spamming you, trying to sell you stuff. That's not what we're going to talk about, but helping people, getting clear and getting the next step. Once we have that, we can start building a list together. And when we talk about list building, there are several different ways of doing this. And if you're just starting out, or if you haven't started out yet, I definitely encourage you to start building a list. And why and how do I build a list? And what is a list? Let's start in that end. We talk about a list, and you might have heard this before, but a list is typically someone's name, someone's email address that we can follow up with. That's typically all there is. Can be phone numbers and can be a lot of stuff. But essentially, we're building our address book to people that know who we are. And if you're looking to launch something by the end of the year, wouldn't it be great to have 200, 400, 40, doesn't matter, but having people that already know who you are. So when you have an offer, or when you have a suggestion, you just can click send and actually send them a message. Wouldn't that be great to have instead of starting from 0 when you're getting ready to launch? So thinking about what can I help someone with that has value, the opt-in gift that we talk about, and then putting it together as an opt-in page. And I'm going to show you all of these things in just a second here. An opt-in page where people can sign up to get it, and then creating a simple follow-up system to get people on a call with you. That's my goal here. When I talk about technology, we work specifically with coaches, meaning that most coaches want to have people come on a call and talk about how they can help. That's the end goal, or almost the end goal. The end goal is obviously having people enroll, but what we're trying to get first is someone to get on a call to have a conversation. So start building a list. And as I said, it's super easy. Create that simple thing, put it on a page, have someone fill in a form, leave their name, email, you send them an email with the thing you promised, And that's all there is to it. Super, super easy to create. You just need to have the platform for it. One thing to note that I talk about at least 4 or 5 times a week, someone comes with this problem, is that they don't own their list. They used Facebook to build up their presence, meaning that by the end of this, they didn't even own their list because Facebook had their list inside of their system. So if your account is shut down for whatever reason, they can't access it. So make sure that wherever you build this list, you make sure that you own it, meaning you own the data and the numbers, names, and emails. Super, super important. There are lots of softwares out there to help you do this. A few of them doesn't allow you to actually own them. You sign an agreement saying they own it, and that's going to be extremely troublesome for you in the long run. So make sure you own the list. Super important. Finally, help people. Everything I talk about is based on behaviors. I'm going to talk about right now a follow-up sequence because we have 3 steps to this. Create something with value, get it in front of people, and follow up with them. That is the 3 core concepts. That's everything you have to do. You don't have to worry about any other gadgets, fidgets, softwares, nothing else. That's the 3 things. All you have to do is those 3 things. Just do those 3 things. That's going to do everything for your business. And as you get advanced, we can add more stuff. We can do a lot of cool automations and stuff like this, right? Share value, exchange that value for someone's contact, and follow up. Easy as that. We don't have to worry about anything else. That's all you have to do. And that goes a long way into your business. You don't have to do anything else than that. But we have to follow up with people. And just following up, sending like a weekly newsletters like people do is not good enough. Do not just send a weekly newsletter saying, hey, this week we have whatever things that is working in or happening in your industry and your niche. Doesn't work. Don't do that. You don't end up top of mind. We're talking about a value added follow-up system where people get emails from you more frequent, once or twice a week, at least you send an email with a very clear message that helps someone move forward. Everything I talk about is about helping and serving. Because my background, as I said, my wife came through the door and she said, we can't pay the bills. When I heard that, I panicked because when you can't pay the bills, what are you going to do, right? So I panicked and said, all right, let's throw everything out the window. Let's go back to basics and let's start serving people. Just serve more people. We're about helping people. And if you think that following up with people once they opted in to get something from you feels pushy or salesy, you kind of have to change the perspective on this. Because if you need help solving a problem and you go look for that help and someone can help you with the first step or the first couple of steps, and then they help you and move you forward based on where you are in your process of solving that problem, that's not selling, that's helping. You got to keep helping people forward. Don't worry about sales. Don't worry about enrollments. That's the result of helping. That's an outcome you get from helping people. So the more people you help, the more enrollments you're going to have, the more positive community building features you're going to have. Everything comes from helping. So a lot of people say, I don't want to email people maybe twice a week or even more than that in some periods, depending on what we're doing. But we have to look at, we're not spamming people with sales stuff. We're sending resources to help people build their business. And the end goal, or not the actual end goal, but the end goal with this specific part is to help people take the time and actually book a call with you. That is what we're looking to do, right? Does it sound complicated so far? It's 3 steps. And of course, we're going to have to add a tech platform to create this. Have you heard this before? I bet you have. There's nothing new here, but it's super easy to forget these 3 concepts because nothing else really matters. We have to start here. Any questions so far? Any comments so far before I jump into a bit more technical stuff here in just a second?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Joel. I'm not sure if you were going to cover that, but a lot of our coaches are still quite new.
Yeah.
So which point would you recommend for a coach to start considering systems, using systems? When does it become feasible? Obviously, there's an investment required and everything else. So when is a good time?
That's a great question. And it's a super important question as well, because we don't want to waste. We don't want to spend money at the wrong time in our business. When we're starting out and we're building this on a shoestring, we have to be mindful of where we invest money. And I would say when you have gathered the commitment to say, I am going to launch a coaching business, or I'm going to launch my business. I know sort of the niche where I'm going to be, and I know sort of the problems that I'm going to start working with. That is a great time to put together one of these gifts, opt-in gifts or lead magnets, whatever you want to call them, and start building the list. Because as I said previously, you don't have to actively have a product to sell, but I have a client of mine that I can use as an example. She didn't know what she wanted to do for almost 10 months. She knew that she wanted to work with coaching, but she didn't know specifically how and what she wanted to do. So we started out by helping her setting up her first gift, the opt-in gift, the first page where she could actually have people come and signing up for it. And she started building her list and following up, sharing resources, information to potential clients of her. And she did that for 10 months. And by that point, she had around 400 people that had signed up to get information from her. And by that point, she was ready to launch. She was ready to say, all right, I have my group coaching program now. I want to launch it. So then she had 400 people that she could, with the press of a button, send messages to and offer them to come on board on her program. And she did. She made over $10,000 in the first 2 weeks of launching that, just based on that list. So I would say as soon as you know where you're going to be, where you're going to kind of end up with your project or product, and you're kind of ready with the niche, I would create that gift. And once I have that gift, I would start building the list. That's a great place to start. We don't have to worry about selling anything, but if we have that and we have the list building functionality in there, it's going to help you so much in the long run. Hopefully that was the answer to the question.
Well, obviously the answer is what you think the answer. And the best answer is, but yeah, it's a great answer. Thank you.
Awesome. So how is the actual, if we look at this from the perspective of a setup, and I just recap this, create the leading gift or the opt-in gift, put it somewhere that people can actually get it, a web page, and finally follow up with people. That's the recap. And when people win, you win. You can't say this enough. It's so important, right? You have to make people win. And if they win, you win. So let's take a look at this. And I know this might seem completely overwhelming looking at it from the first glance. But this, my friends, is one of the most powerful ways for a new coach or someone who's been running a coaching business for years to set up what we call a funnel. And this is a funnel. These is 1, 2, 3 web pages. 3 things, 3 pages, it's all it has to be. And these 2 you can actually combine. So let me walk you through a basic setup here that I recommend for everyone starting out. Set this specific thing up. This is exactly where we want to start when we launch our business, right? And it doesn't matter here. We can see from the left here, we have traffic. That's people from the internet ending up on this page. And it doesn't matter if you run ads and pay to have people go visit it. If you write blog posts and people end up here, doesn't matter if you just share content on Facebook or Twitter or whatever you share it. Doesn't matter how people find you, but in some way they find you and they end up on this page. And this first page, I'm going to show you an example of these pages as well, is where you exchange the gift for a contact information, name and email preferably. And once you have that, you send an email to someone with the gift, the actual thing that you're giving them, and you also redirect them. So when they click submit to actually get the thing, you send them to the next page. And this happens automatically. You redirect them here automatically, and the email goes out automatically. So this works 24/7 a day, 7 days a week. The reality is most people won't do what we want them to do. Just look at yourself and look at me. If something happens, my dog barks, my wife calls, something happens, and I might not watch the thing on the next page. So we send them the gift and we follow up with them to make sure they go and actually watch this thing. And on the second page here, it says VSL, stands for Virtual Sales Letter. We're not selling anything per se. It's not like we're selling them, hey, here's a new car, go buy that. But what we're selling them is the time. We want to have them invest some time in watching a video here. And this video is basically you either on camera or just voicing over and walking through the thing you just gave them. This might be the only chance you have to create a relationship to someone. That could be the only chance they actually see you or hear anything from you. So on this page, we walk them through whatever thing we just gave them. And remember, this is just the first step on their journey. So we have to explain that this is the first step. This is not a complete solution for all the issues or all the problems you're having. This is just a first step. And then we encourage them to go book a call with us, right? That's what we do. And again, most people won't book that call. So we follow up with a couple of emails to remind them to go book a call. And most people won't, which is fine. But the people who do, of course, we send them reminders to have them actually show up on the enrollment call or the clarity call or the strategy call, whatever we want to call it. And a few people, they decide to work with you. And a few people decide not to. So then we follow up with them, share information, share knowledge to help them move forward with whatever processes you're helping people with the goal of taking care of them. And the goal, of course, to get them back to book a call so you can help them even more. Do you hear the perspective I have on everything here? Not to sell them on stuff, but to help them take the next step. Super important difference. I don't like businesses that send me just buy, here's stuff, buy that stuff, buy. I unsubscribe immediately. But I do read emails from companies that are trying to help me. And I read them quite a lot. I read those emails. So that's what I want you to do. Follow up with solid and helpful things that adds value to people's life. This, my friend, is all you need to create. And it looks like a lot, but it's 3 pages, a video, and that's it. And depending on what tools you use, it can be super easy, or it could be pretty hard, depending on what you use. But from my perspective, it's got to be super easy. That's if it's not easy, we're not going to do it. At least that's my my life. If it's not easy, I'm not going to do it. So it has to be easy. And I want to show you some examples here. This is an opt-in page. This is one of our opt-in pages where we give people this guide, the 5 fundamental steps to create tremendous results for you and your clients. This is all there is to it. There's nothing more on this page. It's literally a headline, a strong headline that attracts interest, some information and a bullet point and a button you can click to actually get the guide. This is the first page. All there is to it. It doesn't have to be more advanced than this. Once they click on this page and they click submit to actually get the guide, they end up on the next page, which has the same headline, but I also added a video here. And for some reason, I look really grumpy, don't I? I think I look really grumpy. I need to change that, but I look really grumpy. I don't when you hit play on that. But here I walk through people on the guide and tell them how it works and what it is. And further down on this page, I have my calendar and encourage people to go book a call. That's all there is to it. We don't have to have any more bells and whistles. This is the core fundamentals of running your business. You need to have these things. Needs to be in place. Calendar booking, somewhere to get people to sign up for stuff, and some way to email people automatically. So that happens when you sleep. That's really the key and the core of what you need to have in place in the business. Then, of course, we need to follow up. That is the third step. Gift, opt-in, follow up. Deliver the gift, follow up and remind them to watch the video, and follow up to see if they book a call. That's what we have to create. And there's a lot of systems that can help you do all of this or parts of this, but the core here is follow up with value. Make sure you help people. Don't just spam people, really help people, but automate that process. So once you create another video or once you create another blog post, you just add it to the follow-up and it goes out automatically to everyone who signs up with you. And it goes out on a predetermined time from whenever they signed up to get the gift. That's really the key of this. Automating it so you can set it and forget it. Don't have to worry about it. That's really the key and the core here. If you think it seems hard, and I know a lot of people think it seems hard because I talk to people every single day who say, hey, this is super hard. And they had experiences from trying to build websites in old websites builders or trying to figure out how to use different tools. But CoachBox is our product. That's the platform we have and that we help people set things up in. And the reality is CoachBox is based on the A&E process that we call it. It's going to help you attract people because marketing is part of this, but I'm not going to go into the rabbit hole of online marketing right now. But we need to have people show up. And we need to be able to capture leads using landing pages, surveys, forms, and these type of things. Then we need to nurture people because we need to take care of people and we need to make sure they actually come into our world in the right way. So we need to nurture them by sending automatic messages, voicemails, whatever way we want to nurture people. And then finally, we want to enroll people, meaning we need to have calendars to book the call. We need to have payment gateways so people can actually purchase stuff and buy stuff and we get paid. It needs to be in place, right? And we need to be able to track this and look at the data because we have to be data driven. I know, at least that's me. I have something right here, my heart, and it's a big heart. And I sometimes listen more to my heart than to my logic when I look at stuff. I spend a lot of hard work creating this, so therefore it should work. But if the data says it's not working, it's not working, you kind of have to kill your darlings on that one. That's the reality of it. So we have all of those things. And basically what we do is we replace over 40 different tools. You're not going to need 40 tools when you start out. You need 3 things: a gift, forms to automate it, and a page to have the form on so you can automate it, and email and text message follow-up. That's the core. That's what you need starting out. But as you grow, you might want to look in a toolbox and say, I need a screwdriver, and now I need this and that, and you want to have that in one place. So what we have is a system with a complete CRM and list building functionality with membership areas and courses. You can create all of those things. You have pre-built funnels, pre-built email campaigns. We have support for you 7 days a week. And it's basically all the tools you need to take people from up here where they find you on Facebook or Snapchat or wherever they find you, and have them go through this entire process where in the end of this, you enroll clients, because that's the goal. What we need to do in businesses, we need to enroll clients, right? So that's what we do and that's what we offer. And how it works, just to give you an introduction to this, is people sign up to use CoachBox. That's the first step in this. Then when you come on, we sit down for an hour-long chat with someone on our team to figure out exactly where your business are, what you need right now, and what is the most important next step to get in place in order to actually get stuff done for your business. And you get crystal clear on this. Then you can decide if you want to build everything out yourself or if you want us to do that for you. That's 2 different ways of going about this. But if you want to do it yourself, we have everything pre-built, so you can just easily swap out headlines and swap out images to things that reflect your business. So you don't even have to understand how to build a website, but you have to decide on, do I want this picture or do I want this picture? Do I want it to say this or that? And we have a complete guide that you can use to get everything set up by yourself within an hour or 2. That's how fast this process is. From nothing to be live in a couple of hours. That's really the process. And you can launch this to actually start building your list automatically and just having it run, being out there as an asset to you 24/7 a day, 7 days a week, consistently helping you grow that list and getting in front of more people. And you do all of this with just one login. And if you started to look at different tools, you might realize that sending an email might require one tool. And then you want to create a website, and that could be a different tool. So then you need to figure out a way how to integrate those tools. So when someone signs up, they send it to the other tool and then back and forth. I went crazy on this. This was a horrible situation when I started almost a decade ago to figure out. And I hear people talking about this every single day. How do I integrate all of these tools so they talk to each other? With us, you don't need that. You have everything in one place. So you need to remember one password and one login instead of a lot of them, right? Again, recap. I used to be in the army. If I didn't tell you that, I used to be in the Swedish army, and repetition is the mother of all learning, as a saying we have in the army. And I like that one. 3 steps again. What problem do you solve? Can you give someone a gift? How can you help them? Make sure to have a site where people can get that gift and follow up with a list. That's all I would suggest you start doing. And as I said, you can do this with us, or you can have us do this for you. That's 2 different ways of doing this, but I encourage you to do those 3 things. And I encourage you to do that starting today. Make sure to get those 3 things in place so you can follow up with people and start helping people. That's the reality of it. This is just what some of our clients are saying, and I figured it could be a good place to put it in, to understand some of the feedback we're getting. And we're constantly changing and developing based on the feedback that we're getting. But I would encourage you not to overthink this. Start helping people and automate the first step in that helping process. That to me is the most important thing here. Really, the key factor in getting it done is helping. The reality, that's all we got to do. If you're looking to get CoachBox, I put together a little bonus for you, because sometimes people struggle to get that first opt-in gift together. Anyone who is on the call today and decides, hey, this CoachBox thing seems like that could be something I'm interested in. If that's you and you decide to enroll with us, we're going to put a gift to you, which is our opt-in gift templates. This is a product we usually sell alone as a standalone product for almost $500. But I'm going to give that to you guys that's on the call today. That includes templates for workbooks, cheat sheet, checklists, all of these things that you can use to create this super, super easy using free tools online. And we're going to show you how to do that, because you get access to the template and a training for how to use them. So you're going to get that as a bonus as well. If you want to sign up with us, there's no real, you can decide obviously what you want to do. But if you feel like, hey, this enrollment or this opt-in gift, that seems hard, that's a way for us to help you alleviate some of that stress. What you're also getting is pre-built funnels and pre-built email campaigns. So you don't even have to have a copywriter write the copy for you. That's done. You get that in place as well. And you get the funnel built. So that's done as well. All you have to do is change the text and the pictures. That's something we wanted to throw in here as an added bonus. If someone decides to say, hey, this is interesting, and I might want to take a look at that.
Joel, thank you so much for your generous offer. Most of our members, they watch replays. Do you think you can extend this offer for until the end of the week?
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, I wrote today when I created this, but what I actually mean is, if you're watching this either live right now, or we can extend it definitely to let's say Sunday, just for the sake of it. So that's fine. I know that people watch from all over the world. It could be night time at different places. So definitely let's extend that. Make sure if you chose to go ahead when you talk to me, that let me know that you were on the call or that you watched the replay, so we can get that to you.
Joel, just for a second, we've got a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Wilda, lovely, would you like to come off mute and ask your question?
Hi, I thank you for being here today, Joel. It's nice listening to you. Does your platform allow the client to digitally download the opt-in right from wherever, like when we send it to them? Because I know you kept saying you could send them to your website, but I was like, what about, can't they just download it from there?
Yeah, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for a great question. Yes, you can add the file to the platform and have people download it. What I recommend doing, though, is not just allowing people to go download it directly, because we want to add a few things here to help us understand the behavior of people. So I would set something up to actually make sure that if someone signs up to get let's say an ebook for the example, if they sign up to get it, I want to keep track of, did they actually download it? Because if they didn't download it, that doesn't mean I'm a horrible person and they hate me and everything I'm going to create, no one is going to like it. They don't download it. That just means that someone forgot about it, didn't remember to download it. So we want to add a little functionality to it. So if they didn't download it, we can send an email out to them, reminding them to download it as well. So adding small functionalities to a system is super easy to do, but it makes a big difference. So to answer the question, yes, you can add the file in the platform, but I wouldn't have them go download it automatically. I would make sure to keep track of that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Joel, I've got a question to you, because I'm aware that there's 2 different levels of the system that people can sign up for. Can you tell us about the most basic, simple first step? What does that include? What does that system setup provide you? What tools?
Yeah, we have 2 different levels. We have the starter, and then we have the pro version of the platform. And the only difference is basically the whole idea to have 2 versions of them is that the first version is designed for people that are starting out or just getting ready to start out. So it's a less expensive investment to use or to buy upfront or to subscribe to. And the only difference basically is that you don't have the membership area or the course builder, because you can build courses, complete courses, with a complete course builder inside of CoachBox. You don't have that in the starter version, because normally people don't need to start building a course the first thing that happened. And you have some advanced functionality in regards to getting reviews, basically review management, that you once you've come a little bit further on your journey. So that's why you have the starter package, which is a little bit cheaper. It's half the price of the pro package. And the idea is to have it easily available with all the functionality that the pro package have, except for the course builder and the review management. That is the big difference between the 2.
Great, thanks a lot.
I have one question. Do you think we could have a look at the system and just kind of like, can you show us a bit around? Doesn't have to go be like the whole thing, but just to see and get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And that's first point. And second point, if you could maybe talk a bit more about this whole membership area. And for those who are a bit more advanced and are actually considering running some courses, if you could also have a look at it and hear a bit more about what's available. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll pull up the system here in just a second, but let's start discussing the membership area. Depending on where people are, and obviously this is going to be different for everyone. If you're looking to start running a course business, it's great to have somewhere to put courses, right? You still need all the functionality we just talked about. So that's why you have the ability to build courses as well inside of CoachBox. And let me share your screen here, or my screen. Share your screen. It would be weird if I could share your screen, but let me share my screen here, and I'll show you a little bit how it looks. That was the wrong one. So let's see. There we are. So do you see this? This is the CoachBox platform, where you have, this is the dashboard. This is when you log in, where you see how many people you have in your pipeline, how much they are worth, and the conversion rate of those people. And basically, you asked about the membership area. If I jump over here, you have funnels, websites, and memberships. If I jump over here, you have the membership area, where, with the magic of internet, you can create products, meaning courses, and start building them out. So if I go into one of these as an example, you have the complete course management and course building system here, where you can add content. This is the category, and this is the actual post. So in here, you can put up a video, and this is where you upload it. And we host all the videos inside of the platform. So you don't need to put them on YouTube. You don't need to put them on a platform for that. And then you can write the text, and you can also add files for download. And you can choose to publish this all at once, or you can choose to publish it in drip mode, so people go through it step by step, or you can choose to lock certain sections until they finished a part in this. because sometimes you want to make sure that people actually did the thing you want people to do before they move to the next step. So that is the course creator. And you can add any price. You can have free courses, you can have paid courses, but this is where you can go in and you can add new courses or new categories. And from there, you can create an offer and start selling it. And it generates automatically a sales page for this, where people can go to buy it and get immediate access to the course you created. So you don't have to buy, don't have to create the sales page for the course. It automatically generates. And one thing you might notice if you start looking around in the system is it's super similar to other systems. And that's a big reason for that. It looks almost identical. The calendars, for instance, looks almost identical to Calendly. And what's the reason behind that? Well, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. People know how a calendar looks. It doesn't have to look different. If you go into the funnel builder, it looks a lot like other funnel builders. So people know their way around. It's going to be easy. It has to be easy and it has to be accessible. Super, super important. And what we've done is we created this based on the needs that we see for ourselves as coaches and the feedback we have from other coaches. And you're not going to use everything. Let me be perfectly clear with it. You're not going to use every single functionality of the over 47 different tools we have. But it's super good to have those when you're ready to start launching a course or when you're ready to do more advanced functionality, right? So that is the basic. If you have specific questions, please let me know so I can show you. But going in and creating, for instance, an email campaign, you go into marketing and you go to campaigns. And this is where you can set up a complete email campaign. You click add event. You want to send a text message? Do you want to send an email? Do you want to do a voicemail drop? Do you want to call people? Let's say we want to do a text message. Either you write your message here yourself, or you can use we have over 70 different templates here. So let's say we want to send them a follow-up email. So now that's done. We can save that. And that text message is now going to go out, in this case, 0 minutes after. So let's say it should go out after 10 minutes. So that's how easy it is to set up a new one. But what we do with all our clients when they come in, instead of you having to reinvent this and build this out yourself, you start out already with campaigns built out, with sites built out. So you just have to add your stuff to it. And as you learn, you start to create this your own by yourself, right? But in the beginning, I want to make sure that it's super, super easy for you. So that's why you get everything pre-built and just go in and change specific things inside of it.
I have a question. Do you still need to purchase a domain to have your funnel pages done? Or how does it work?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, you need to have a domain where someone can send it to. And a domain I usually explain this in 2 different ways. Everyone knows what a domain is. That is the thing you type into the bar on your web browser, right? To actually go somewhere. Think of that as the address where you live. Downing Street is a good address that most people know. That's the address, right? Whatever house is on the address, that's your website or that's the page you have. So you need the domain or the address to actually send people somewhere. And then you need to build the house behind it. And what we did is we created all of these pre-built templates. So you don't have to start with a blank or empty piece of land and try to figure out how to become a carpenter. You just need to go there and then hang your name on the door and change it around so it feels like home, right? So you need the domain, and a domain is cheap. You can buy it for less than $10 on. I recommend using a service called Namecheap, which is, in my opinion, one of the best places to get a domain.
And I do have more questions.
Yeah.
Could we have a look at the scheduler as well? You said it looks like typical,
sure.
But if you could also pull up again because I have more questions there.
Yeah. So if I go into the calendars here,
you can also set up meetings, right?
Sorry?
You can also set up as many different types of meetings.
Yeah,
as well.
you can set up as many calendars, and this is how a calendar would look. I mean, you recognize this. We know what a calendar is. We don't have to reinvent this. It doesn't have to be crazy with animation stuff. This is a calendar. People go book. So if I want to book this meeting right here, I'll set the date and I'll set a time. I'll enter my name, phone number, email, any questions I have. And this automatically ties in. So when someone books, they automatically get appointment reminders sent out automatically. And they also get an email or a calendar booking inside of the calendar. And you, as the user and the coach, you also get a booking in your calendar. So that automatically blocks off the time. And we connect to your calendar as well, to your Google Calendar, for instance, or Outlook Calendar for that sake, and check. And if you have a booking already on a specific time, that time won't be available here. So there's no risk of double bookings. And we integrate as well with Zoom, meaning that we automatically send a Zoom link out in the reminders and also in the calendar booking. So it's super easy for people to get the link to the Zoom meeting. And also it's right inside of their calendar right away, as soon as they book here. And I think that's a beauty to it, because I don't know about you, but I book a lot of meetings with different companies. And a lot of the time, I don't even get a booking in my calendar. I'm lucky to get maybe an email to say that the meeting was booked, but a lot of the time I don't even get that. And it's super hard for me because then I need to manually add the meeting to my calendar. And I don't want to have that. I want to have that automatically work, right? And so this is the calendar.
Yeah, I have one more question. It's more around, how does this system integrate with social media?
Yeah.
We integrate it with Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Facebook groups.
So we integrate natively with Facebook and Google. And Facebook means Instagram as well. So if you go into conversations here, for instance, now this is a demo account. So the conversations here aren't real conversations. So if anyone is worried that we might be giving away personal information,
is this conversation with the Facebook page, or is it the Facebook profile?
So in here, you can see I have 3 options here: text message or SMS, email, and Facebook message. This means that I can connect my Facebook page to CoachBox. And anyone who writes to my Facebook page, I get that information here. And from here, I can automatically send a Facebook message to people. So we integrate with Facebook and Instagram, meaning you get the DMs from Instagram and from Facebook right into CoachBox. And what is the beauty of Google as well is now you have the ability to post to Google My Business. So you can do social media posting here from CoachBox as well. That is rolling out here over the next month, where you can actually schedule posts to social media. And the first one we're going to start with is Google My Business, because that's a big one. If you haven't used Google My Business, I strongly encourage you to start using Google My Business, because Google is really pushing it right now. So we integrate with that. So you can start posting to social media, and people that write to your page will end up right inside of CoachBox. The beauty with this, where we are right now in conversations, is that instead of having to have your email and your phone and other platforms to go check where people wrote to you, you now have a one place where you have emails, where you have text messages, where you have your Facebook messages that people wrote to your Facebook page, everything in one place. This is going to be the hub for your communications. And this is really how I use it. I think that is one of the strong points. All of a sudden, instead of having to have my phone and the email and Facebook and that, I have everything now in one place. So I never miss an email anymore. And I can start really getting back to people super, super easy. And from here as well, I can also click to request payments. So let's say I over email agree with someone they agree to enroll in something or purchase something from me. I can super easy click here and just set up the invoice and the payment, and then just send it here as a text message or a Facebook message. And they can immediately go in and pay that invoice right away from here. Super, super convenient to actually get paid, which is a good thing in our businesses, right?
And could we also have perhaps a look at the contacts and how you go about organizing your contacts?
Yeah, sure.
And is there also any functionality to actually organize events and keep track of event signups and all that?
Yeah.
Create opt-in pages for event signups or promo pages?
All of the above. That's a great question. So if I go into, let's say I go into a contact here. I just clicked on a person in the list. Let's actually go back here. This is everyone that I have in my system right now. And if I click on this one and click on here.
And one more question, because I'm a HubSpot user, and but I need to change to something new. What HubSpot allows is integrating your Google email mailbox with HubSpot, which allows you to kind of like pull up contacts right from within the mailbox and see what's the history and such. Do you integrate also with like similar to HubSpot with the with Google, and it tracks all your Google communications, whether you type and send emails from your Google or whether you type it and send it from here? Is it all kept together and tracked?
So another great question. Thank you very much. So you can import all your contacts here, and it's you go through a small guide just importing people. So you can import people right here. What we don't do is, if you have different email addresses, we don't automatically take all the information from those email addresses and pull them right in here. So for instance, if you use a separate email, those conversations are going to still be in that email program, whatever you use, right? So depending on how you want to do that, and to me, that is really about looking at it from how we do stuff. How do I use my workflow? What is the typical way of doing this? Because I have my regular email, and then I have my CoachBox email. And the regular email I use for things like writing emails to my suppliers, writing emails to people that I'm not looking to work with on a client basis. But everything that has to do with sales, marketing, enrollment, inquiries, everything that has to do with that side of business, I have that right inside of here. Then, of course, I can forward emails and I can connect it in different ways. So there are ways to do that as well if we want to. But from my point of view, it's more a matter of how we want to work and how we want to do it, right?
Joel, good question about the email. So when your email lands in their inbox, do they see your CoachBox email address that says joel@coachbox.com?
Again, I love
personalized.
These are very insightful questions, and I love it. It's great. So what you get inside of CoachBox is that you get your own email server. And what that means for us regular people is that you have somewhere that you can send emails from, that you're the only one sending from that email. And how that works in reality, and this is the same for each and every single system that sends an email, is that it sends from that server. And when it ends up in your inbox or in someone else's inbox, you can decide what it's going to say. So when I write emails or send emails, it says joel@coachbox.io, which is my regular email address. But it's actually sent from Joel at the email server's ending, which is, in my case, is mg@coachbox.io. So you can choose how it looks when it ends up in someone's inbox. That's the beauty in this. And that's how all email systems like this works, is that they mask it. That's how it's done.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, so it won't be like wildacare@gmail or wildacare@coachbox. It'll be wildacare if I decided.
Yeah, you could basically,
perfect.
and I strongly suggest not doing this, but for the sake of an example, you could have it go out as CEO@google.com, and that's what it would say. If they were to click at it and look at it in detail, they would see that it came from your dedicated email server, but it would be masked. So it would look like that, meaning you could stop sending from a Gmail address if you want to have a professional looking address. Then you could have, exactly as you said, you could have it at Wildacare or CoachBox or whatever the name of your business is. So you can choose that by just typing it in when you create the account, and you can change that at any time. So if you want to have one email go out to clients, you can have that go out like support@yourbusiness.com. And if you have an email going out to leads, you can have that go out as, I don't know, sales@yourbusiness.com, right? So you can change that depending on what you want to send and when. You can also customize when we're talking about emails. You could customize, I can jump in here just really fast and show you. You can customize and send out super pretty emails where you can build them here, send out with emails, with animations, with call to actions, buttons, and all this is drag and drop. You drag it in, here's a video, where do we want to have it sent? Where is that video? If I want to add something else, I'll just drag it in. Let's say we want to have social media icons. Now I have social media icons, and then I can set it up. So you can create super pretty emails and send them out, and you can automate everything. To me, that is super convenient because we don't want to waste a lot of time having to do things manually. We want to set it up to go out.
Are the work email flows included in the basic subscription?
Everything. There is no difference between the starter and the pro package. The only difference is, and I'm going to show you, the reputation management here, where you can automatically send out review requests and have people review you on Google and on Facebook. This is not part of the starter plan. And then the membership builder that we looked at previously, that is not a part of the starter plan. Otherwise, everything is included. It's the same.
Wow. Okay.
So that is one part. What I'm going to say is a big thing that I really want to encourage is to try to automate stuff. Automate as much as you can. And we don't put any limits to the amount of automations. When you sell stuff, we don't take any commissions on that. It's all yours. You have no limit. I'm not going to say unlimited because, as I told Rina previously, I had a friend of mine who has a hosting company, and he said unlimited websites, and then a guy decided to crash his servers. So I'm not going to say unlimited, but you can create as many websites as you need for your business, right? You can send as many emails as you need for your business. We don't limit this in a way. So, and you can have as many contacts as you wish. It's your business. Our job is to provide you with a service that is outstanding. And you have the chat support right here. So if you need help, you have live chat support right down here. You also have the CoachBox University here, which is where you have wikis, how-to videos, all of that. So we have support 7 days a week, almost 24/7. Not 24/7, but I think around 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's how easy it is to get access to help and support. And we don't limit you. Our goal is to make you win. If you remember from the presentation, when your clients win, you win. And that's really our mantra in terms of doing business.
It seems really nice and easy and streamlined, and yeah, it's just easy on the eye as well. So it looks quite easy to use. There's one other area that I'd love to have a look at quickly is the opt-in page, because people who haven't set these up before, it can be a little bit daunting. Can you show us how easy it is to set up an opt-in page in the system?
I can go in here, and I don't have the pre-built ones in this demo account because those are actually just new. They're going live next week, and you guys are going to be the first one to have access to them. So that's going to be super, super cool. But these are pre-built ones that are going to come out. But I'm going to go into the funnel builder right now.
And while you're doing that, I've got a quick question. So compared to like ClickFunnels, Funnel Gorgeous, Samcart, where are you in this ball game?
I would say that compared to other, so I never talk badly about competitors because I think it's wonderful to have a diversity of people. If you use ClickFunnels, you could import your funnels by just pasting the URL right here and click create funnel. That's going to import the ClickFunnels site right in here. But I would say that the downside to many of the systems, not all, but many of the systems, is that they don't have all the functionality. They have part of it. They have the funnel builder, or they have the email sender, or they have the membership area, but they don't have the whole package. To me, that is our biggest strength. And that's really what I think is the most important thing when thinking about what platform should you use. Because the reality is you will need multiple things. You need to send emails, you want to send text messages, you want to build a landing page, you want to do a survey. And if you use separate tools for that, it's going to be much harder for you to actually set that up. And a lot of other services offer part of the solution, not all of them. I think that's the biggest difference.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If I jump in here now to the funnel builder, if you use ClickFunnels before, you're going to see this is really similar. If you use ClickFunnels to build sites, it's super similar. Here we have the biggest part, which is a section. And now I can click here to add columns. And let's say I want to add a headline. Now this is going to look horrible because I'm not going to write and build it out for you. But here I have a headline. Let's say now I want to add an image here. I click on image, and then I can go here into the menu and go in here, and I can actually go and search right here on Unsplash and Pixabay to find images. I don't have to go there. So let's say I want to add a mountain on my page. I just search here, found a lot of mountains. This looks pretty. Boom, now I have a mountain on my page, right? Let's say I want to do a bullet list here. That's a bullet list. And let's say I want to add my calendar underneath. Calendar. Might be that I don't have any calendars, and I do actually. Breakthrough session. Now, boom, I have my calendar on the page. So now someone can directly go in and schedule here. Now, of course, I want to change the headings and all of these things, but you get the point. So that's how easy it is. If I want to add a form as well, click here, add a survey, or add a map, or add my reviews. Let's say I want to have all my reviews coming in from Google and Facebook, what people are writing. Let's say I want to have that directly on my page. Boom. Now I have that. It's only going to show reviews that are above 4.5 stars. So you don't have to worry about that one client that got upset and left a bad review. But now you have client testimonials right on your website. And that's automatic now. So as soon as you get more of them, it's just going to fill in more here. Let's say I want to do a countdown timer. I want to do something else, or I want to do a 2-step checkout. You drag and drop. The reality is you drag and drop here. And then in the menu, you have the settings. So if I want to change the color of this one, I go ahead and use any of the pre-built one, or I click here and I can go in using either hex codes or going in here and finding a color that I like. So I usually say in terms of the funnel builder, and the website builder works exactly the same. Go in and play around. I had one of our clients, she's an artist, she's a painter, and she started working and she came back after 2 weeks and she said, Joel, you know what? No, I actually built my own website now. I managed to do it all by myself, and I built it myself. So easy as that. Are you going to run into problems? Yeah, you might. And that's why we have the support, so you can get help almost in real time, most of the time in real time, and have access to the videos and tutorials to make sure to get it done.
I'm now thinking that, could it actually replace the website as well?
Yeah. Yeah. So this, what we're looking at right now, in terms of semantics, this is now, I'm ready to go. If I click save on this one now, and if I were to add a domain, this would be live right now, where you could go to a domain and look at this. Obviously, we want to change it and write better copy and add whatever we want to add, right? But you can create your own websites, and you get all the templates you need to do that with CoachBox. So you don't have to start from a blank plot of land. You get the house, you just make it your own. So that's the beauty in it. But this I just put together now in like a minute or so. Drag and drop, super, super easy.
I know, that was amazing. I was like, oh my God, that was great.
And I just switched over here because a lot of people use the phone, right? So this is the desktop, how it looks on a PC or an Apple or Mac. This is the desktop or mobile version. So this is how it would look on a phone. And that means we might want to change something on the phone. We can do that as well. And that would only apply on the phone version, not on the desktop version. So it's super easy to actually create. And it's actually super fun. I think it's super fun to create. And let's say I want to change the entire background here. I can go up to background, and then I can go in here, of course, upload my own files. I have a background area here where I can just use basics ones if I want to do that. So let's say I want to use this one just to get some pattern behind. All of a sudden I have a nice pattern behind that just brings some life to the page. Obviously you want to put effort into it and some love to creating the graphics, but that's how easy it is to create it.
So I just want to interrupt one more time. So like the big thing that I am excited to be here, and I was going to go with something called Funnel Gorgeous, only because it was a girl, and her funnels and everything were so beautiful, and I wanted to support her. I'm not sure what her pricing is right now, but I was trying to figure out what my capabilities would be. And I mean, you showed me, but I mean, they still sort of looked like, now you're showing color. And what I wanted to find out is how close you are to making it a funnel gorgeous site.
So,
and I guess, and everything would probably be how gorgeous it is compared to what price you are compared to hers. But
yeah.
your bells and whistles, I think, have beat everybody. And I've been really on the automation trail since January 1st. So that is why I'm here, because I work with clients and I refer them and use these products in my trainings with my clients so that they're not doing this. So like my goal for this month was to find the product and then train my clients. And then at the end of the year, the tools, we would be writing reviews on the tools that we used to get where we went. And so that's why I'm here. And I was just really impressed with your product. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And let's connect and have a conversation about what specifically you need and how that would work. We also have, it could be worth noticing, we have graphic designers in-house that work with us to help our clients design sites, logos, brand images, whatever needs to be designed. We also have our team, dedicated team that helps people run marketing campaigns on social media. So basically, we're a one-stop shop for everything that you might need in your business. Our idea is to make your life super, super easy. What I'm going to say, what I think is super important as well, is go with your gut feeling. If you look at something and it feels right, I think that's awesome. If you look at our system and say, that's great, but someone else's, it feels better, trust your gut. Emotional intelligence and intuition, super important. It had to be value aligned with everything. And I know that our product isn't for everyone. We try to do the best possible thing we can do. And that's why I love to talk to as many people as possible to get input, feedback, and see how we can help. Because in my book, it's all about helping.
Great answer. I love that. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. I just put Joel's contact details, his main site, and also the schedule link in the chat. I will do that on the Facebook page as well, in case there's anyone else who would like to connect with you. I had one more last question, if that's okay. You mentioned that you can manage all your communication with clients through the system. So I was wondering if there's an app version so you could look at it on the phone and respond to people on the go as well. Do you have that set up yet?
It is already built. We're just waiting on our friends over at Apple to approve it for the App Store. So hopefully within a couple of months here, it's going to be live. And that's when you're going to have your entire business with you in your pocket on your phone. I already have it live on Android because they were faster to actually press it through. But it's coming in the next couple of months. You have the mobile app as well. And you can also call. You get a phone number. So you can call people from inside of CoachBox on your phone or in the web browser to actually have that. You can record the calls. So if you do sales calls and you want to record them and do call reviews, you can do that inside of the platform as well.
Tell us that your system also allows to transcribe calls. Then this is like a super jumbo jet system.
and again, I just want to point out here that there's so much functionality. You're not going to use all of it when you start, but when you say, hey, I want to do that thing, I think the beauty is that it's already there. So then you can just take it from the shelf and use it and put it into your business super easy without getting a new software or learning something new or getting new logins or trying to connect it. It's there. And I think that's super exciting. We can also connect Facebook groups. So when people sign up for your Facebook group, we automatically push the data and the answer to the questions, email addresses straight into CoachBox. If you want to automate that and send out a welcome email, we do that as well. So all of these things, super easy to get together and automate and create workflows that saves you time and helps you help more people.
Excellent. Wow. I mean, Ildiko and I, we know how much work it is pulling out all those email addresses from all the requests. And we've been trying to find a way to automate it. So if your system can do it, oh my gosh, like the amount of time it would have saved us last year, all the work, all the hours. I mean, so basically we dropped the Joel's links in the chat, and Ildiko is going to drop it again also under the Facebook video, and we're going to put it also up under the YouTube video for those of you who are actually watching the replay. So we have some comments here. Those of you who want to have links, if you look at the chat, Ildiko has just dropped the links in the chat. And Joel, if you could maybe repeat the offer that you had for those of you who would like to sign up. Joel is going to extend the offer until Sunday, but I'm thinking 31st of January is actually Monday. Maybe we're going to leave it until the end of the month, which is Monday, in case there are people. Would that be okay?
You're a hard bargainer there. So.
I just realized it's like 31st, you know.
Definitely, 100%. Let's extend
We're
it.
here to help too.
Let's extend it to the end of the month.
Yeah,
one of the big
when I sign
things.
up for something, I prefer if, you know, my credit card it gets hit at the end of the month or 31st, first, it's better for me. Then at least I can plan if it's not like all over the month, you know.
I agree completely. So definitely, of course, we're going to extend it to the last of the month. That makes perfect sense. And what the offer is here is, we talked about 3 things. Just to recap that again. What did I say? Repetition is the mother of all learning. Do 3 things. Help someone solve one problem. Create a lead offer or a lead magnet or an opt-in gift where you help someone, a book, a cheat sheet, something to that extent. Have a way to share that with people and follow up. And the offer I had is, we have something we call the opt-in gift template library, where you have trainings for how to set up opt-in gifts, ebooks, you have checklists, you have all of these templates to get those done, and trainings on how to get it done. That has a value of $499. That's a product we sell as a standalone thing. If you choose to enroll with us, you're going to get that as a bonus. If you enroll before the end of the month, you're going to get that into your account, together with the pre-built funnels, the pre-built websites, and the setup guides for that, as well as the 1-hour call with our team and our experts to help you get crystal clear on what you need to set up and what needs to be created in your business to get everything rolling as smooth as possible. After that call, it normally takes an hour or 2 for you to get set up if you want to do it yourself, or you leave it over to our team and we'll help you set that up.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Those of you who've been watching live on Facebook, those of you who will be watching this in the future, drop questions on the video and we can follow up with Joel. Otherwise, please feel free to also maybe reach out to him directly. This was very, very insightful. And we will be seeing you then next week for another podcast. It's going to be about LinkedIn, a very, very exciting topic. And we have somebody who's been working for LinkedIn for 10 years and is an expert on LinkedIn, and she'll be joining us and talking to us more about all the... And
just as a reminder, especially for those of you who are very interested in the book writing session from last week's livecast, we have the workshop, the 2-hour workshop coming up on the 4th of February as well.
Free, join us.
Starting
Whisperer. Well, thank you so much. And we're going to stop recording and see you next week.